We are not going to create healthier couples and relationships that we have behavior like this. What's going on? It's Chris, the Dating Doc, and we're going to talk about Superman today, but we're not only going to just talk about Superman, we're going to talk about the narrative that has been pushed between men and women and who is truly a victim and who's coming from a place of strength and restraint. But first off, give me the HBO special. Help a brother out by subscribing to my channel. It really helps me. I highly appreciate it. It just takes 2 seconds to do it. So, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about Henry Cavill and this TikTok video that, even though it may not be viral, to me is highly controversial, and it pushes a narrative that is a little bit scary and highly hypocritical. All right, so I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna want you to watch it, and then we're gonna form some opinions here at the end, okay? So without further ado. So I'm actually gonna play this twice, okay? I want you to watch this through. I'm gonna pause it every now and then to make some points. So without further ado.
The entire process.
Ben's a very large man.
Yes,
That surprised me
he
the
is,
most.
isn't he?
I was
You're
surprised.
a very large man.
Thank you very much.
In a good way.
Okay, real quick. Watch how he smiles and laughs to try to disarm the situation. You could tell it's awkward for him. He feels uncomfortable. And yes, even though he's Superman, he feels like he's backed up against the wall. Especially around 2018, we're talking about that Harvey Weinstein movement. Hashtag, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Thank you very much as well.
Coming out all wrong.
I was going to say, sort of steady on. I
Have that little bit of stigma in the back of your head that you're never quite good enough, so you keep on working harder, but it's not necessarily healthy.
But now you're definitely healthy. I think that's one word we could use, right? And even if
The man was trying to make a point, okay? He really was speaking from the heart, and she basically bypassed that. All she heard was, oh, you're looking healthy. It's the same deal. If it switched up and a male interviewer was interviewing a woman who was attractive, she said something from the heart and talked about, you know, oh, I feel very full in my chest. All of a sudden the man says, yeah, you seem pretty full in the chest. Come on now, he would have got canceled.
Superman, I understand you had to win.
If I called you a dick, then I'd be like, I'd be wrong, because you're not a dick. You're a lovely man.
Well, sorry.
Woman, come on now.
Stars. Well, I think that Superman represents. That's the way I see it.
You see it how
No,
he
but
was
tell me,
it. Totally
he's
fine, yeah.
handsome.
I just had my hands on his chest, even like we weren't doing a scene. I'd be like, ha 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 ha. I was right.
Do I gotta say any more? Okay, you saw the hand on the chest. Why is it that females can feel like victims, but they can go on public TV and they're married, by the way, you're gonna see that, I'm gonna show you that, and can get away with touching someone's chest? What's up with that?
I continue to have Henry's voice in my head. And that's kind of an undeniable sign that it was meant for him.
I often have his voice in my head.
Different
Images and his voice. Sorry, I do. Go on, sorry, Lauren.
It must have been so challenging having to work with Henry every day.
It's just so awful. It's just too bad about his face, right? He's such a nice guy, and then, you know.
When he looks out at the audience, he's not looking for laughs. He's honestly, from my opinion, my theory is he's looking for help, okay? Pay attention to his nonverbal language.
I kind of feel bad because in all of the press, it's like obvious, so people are constantly asking the question, and then I'm like, Henry's gonna take out a restraining order on me if I keep talking about how cute he is and like giggling in his presence. But I challenge anyone to stare in his eyes for 5 seconds and not giggle. So yeah, it's not easy.
I'm definitely not up to that challenge.
Yeah, but he really is the nicest guy and so humble and has so many other wonderful qualities that you kind of forget, and then you see other people react to him, and you're like, oh yeah, he's really good looking. And
Yeah, you know, and I wonder, honestly, I mean, it's sort of a cliche question, but
He's feeling way uncomfortable, okay? She didn't mention anything about his nice qualities. She didn't go into detail. She just says, oh, you often forget he has other qualities because he's so good looking. Is that not called objectification? You're treating a human like an object because you haven't even humanized them. You're not looking at their qualities that make them human. You're literally looking at them as a piece of meat. It's like, oh, I forget he has other things going on because he's so good looking. Come on, the way that even came out in public, I can't believe it. Keep watching.
you got him saying it when you're not around, so now I'm like, no,
for women, sometimes there is such a thing as being too ridiculously good looking, as they would say in
Well, I haven't had that problem.
I don't know, you're pretty beautiful too, Amy, but do you worry at all, Henry, about it getting in the way of your acting, and for people, in terms of people taking you seriously for your craft instead of your packaging? I said packaging.
I think she just touched you hard.
I said packaging, please.
It is an epic movie, and I'm sure the fans will be.
Okay, this is the wildest one. Okay, maybe they saved it for last. Pay attention to what this male interviewer is gonna say next. I can't believe this even came on. It made it on TV.
Absolutely wetting
And
their
cinemas from
pants
everywhere
with
for
delight.
Friday.
Yeah, just stunning.
Thank you very
guys.
much. Bye-bye.
Absolutely wetting in the light. Okay, they didn't care about the movie. They didn't care about what he's gonna do. Again, just basically objectifying him again. All right, watch these couple articles. Stay tuned. I want you to read these articles, and you're not gonna believe this. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want you to look at the fact that some of the women that were in this video are completely married. Okay, they made the comments they made in front of a live TV audience in public for everyone to see. Okay, Katie Couric. Again, this doesn't mean they're a completely bad person. All I'm saying is that I'm pointing out the hypocrisy here. Okay, spouse. As you see, Katie is married to John Molnar. He's watching from TV, probably wondering, what the heck's my wife doing talking about this good-looking man and objectifying him? Amy Adams, who played with Henry on Superman and other DC property films. Okay, same thing, spouse. Darren Legalo, if you're saying it, you know, non-Spanish way. The other thing I'm going to point out, okay, Henry Cavill is scared to flirt with a woman because he'll be called a R word or something. All right, this is dated back from 2018. Henry Cavill triggered a social media backlash over comments he made about how the #MeToo movement has changed the way he approaches dating. He gets backlash, but nobody called out the woman that objectified him, made him feel like a piece of meat, forgot about the hard work he put into a film, bypass anything from the heart that he was trying to say and just focus on his looks. Again, if you reversed it and a male interviewer was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that people are looking forward to your film, they'll get really hard in the light when it comes, I mean, come on now. Come on, right? So it's the hypocrisy that gets me. And to me, ultimately what's gonna happen is you are just, it's this paradox where women feel like, hey, look, I can make a man feel small, but the second he does it to me, we're going to cancel him. That's not the way it works. You're pushing the narrative that you will always be a victim. Okay? You're not protesting out of a place of strength or equality. You are protesting, especially this hashtag here that we all know about. You're protesting from a place of victimization. That is not strength. Okay? And you're also saying that, well, men can just deal with it. We can objectify them. We can minimize their efforts if they look good because they're able to take it. They're not victims. So that's the narrative that you are pushing. Okay? So I'm not going to go too much into the article. It's just, again, he's talking about he's nervous to flirt because he doesn't want to be called a, and he is basically saying that women are so sensitive that they can't even handle someone flirting with them. Superman can suck it, wrote one social media user. They want to cancel him, but no one's going to point out all the other stuff. All right. Henry Cavill explains why he's hesitant to date, gets massive backlash. So he is basically explaining, hey, I don't want to date because something could happen. I can get in trouble. And him expressing that, because again, he's a good-looking man. If it was Joe Blow from the street that said that, or even a average-looking celebrity, they won't get the backlash because it's all these complaining-ass, jealous women that are jealous that he can't make himself available. It's like they almost feel like they're entitled to have him available. All right. And it upsets me because I know that there's a mental health strain on that. How do I know? Because let's look at this next article. Henry Cavill asked fans to stop gossiping about his relationship. It causes harm to the people I care about. This is from May 16, 2021. All right. This is at a time when Henry Cavill was dating Natalie Viscuso. I'm not sure if they still are. But again, a 38-year-old star talking about, hey, look, while I do appreciate the passion and support by those very people who are speculating, it has come to such a point that I needed to say something, which in itself is a bad thing. To you out there who are expressing your disdain and showing your displeasure through a surprising variety of ways, it's time to stop. I know it can be fun to speculate, to gossip, and to dive into our own personal echo chambers on the internet, but your passion is misplaced and it causes harm to the people I care about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's the hypocrisy of these gossipy women that, again, are pushing the narrative that they are completely victims. From their perspective, they are victims and they are entitled. They do not want any criticism coming their way. They want Henry to be completely okay with the fact that they're gossiping about him and spreading rumors that might not be true. They are okay with the fact that he's objectified because he's good looking and he should just be able to deal with it. But if he was a female version of himself and he tried to go on an interview show, you know what's going to happen. All those male interviewers would get canceled. We know that. You flip the script and all of a sudden now it's this narrative of hypocrisy and no protection for men. And that right there is exactly why some men are afraid of having women in some parts of the workforce. Okay, and I say that because let's go in here. Let's see here. Actually, let me go down here. It's just a whole bunch of advertisements here. Apologize. One moment. Folks are going to gloss right over Henry Cavill, saying that he'll just go back to an ex instead of dating, where he might be called people that you consensually slept with before too, Hank. They wrote, consent isn't something that's grandfathered in. Okay, you know the sad part? This is why I brought up an article from 2018, is because in some ways we have forgotten about things. We forget about the hypocrisy and it really doesn't stick. Okay, look at this right here. Henry talking about being old-fashioned and chasing women obviously means pursuing, courting them. Stop being disingenuous to suit your narrative. Y'all are trash. I love this. Okay, I really like this because it's like, hey, someone's at least supporting him. But again, I brought up something from 2018 because we're in this hashtag type of society, okay, that forgets what we had for lunch the last week, but then we're off to something else that's viral and dramatic. Let me know what y'all think. I'm about to get into this little last part here. All right, so again, I'm just gonna go ahead and play the video and I want y'all to watch through it, look at his nonverbal language and put yourself in his situation, especially if you have self-respect and you are aware of these hypocritical movements that are supposed to protect one gender from sexual harassment, but not the other. Watch.
With him out the entire process.
Ben's a very large man.
Yes,
That surprised me
he
almost.
is, isn't he?
I was
You're a very large man.
Thank you very much.
In a good way. In a good way.
Thank you very much as well.
Coming out all wrong.
I was going to say, sort of steady on. I
have that little bit of stigma in the back of your head that you're never quite good enough, so you keep on working harder, but it's not necessarily healthy.
But now you're definitely healthy. I think that's one word we could use, right? And even as Superman, I understand you had to win.
If I called you a dick, then I'd be like, I'd be wrong because you're not a dick. You're a lovely man.
Well, sorry. Go on. You
Oh, stars. Well, I think that Superman represents. That's the way I see it.
You see it?
No, but tell me, he's handsome.
I just had my hands on his chest, even like we weren't doing a scene. I'd be like, ha 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 ha.
As I was writing, I continued to have Henry's voice in my head.
And that's kind of an undeniable sign that it was meant for him.
I often have his voice in my head.
Different
Images and his voice. Sorry, I do. Go on, sorry, Lauren.
It must have been so challenging having to work with Henry every day.
It's just so awful. It's just too bad about his face, right? He's such a nice guy, and then, I kind of feel bad because in all of the press, it's like obvious, so people are constantly asking the question, and then I'm like, Henry's going to take out a restraining order on me if I keep talking about how cute he is and like giggling in his presence. But I challenge anyone to stare in his eyes for 5 seconds and not giggle. So yeah, it's not easy.
I'm definitely not up to that challenge.
Yeah, but he really is the nicest guy and so humble and has so many other wonderful qualities that you kind of forget, and then you see other people react to him, and you're like, oh yeah, he's really good looking. And
yeah, and I wonder, honestly, I mean, it's sort of a cliche question.
To like, you got him saying it when you're not around, so now I'm like,
for women, sometimes there is such a thing as being too ridiculously good looking, as they would say.
Well, I haven't had that problem.
I don't know, you're pretty beautiful too, Amy, but do you worry at all, Henry, about it getting in the way of your acting, and for people, in terms of people taking you seriously for your craft instead of your packaging? I said packaging.
I think she just touched you.
I said packaging, please.
It is an epic movie, and I'm sure the fans will be absolutely wetting
And
their
cinemas from
pants with
everywhere for
delight.
Friday.
Yeah, just stunning.
Thank you
guys.
very much. Bye-bye.
So this is what the scary part about this video and everything that I've mentioned is that Henry is gonna be under the spotlight now that he has entered the world of Hollywood. Ironically, when he found out about his part as Superman, he was playing World of Warcraft. So this is a man who exudes a little bit of that introverted nature. He's not the type that's a fan of Hollywood, and now unfortunately, in some ways, he's becoming a victim of it. He can't do anything without being canceled. He can't talk about movements without being canceled. He can't even talk about the fact that he's hesitant about dating, something that is heartfelt, without being canceled. And again, the bigger point I wanted to make is that this video in some ways pushes the narrative that some women, not all of them, some women are completely okay with the fact that they lack self-accountability. They're completely okay with the fact that they can objectify a man. This is similar to someone who's a racist saying, I'm allowed to be racist towards your group, but you can't be racist towards my group because guess what? I'll cancel you if you try that. That offends me if you try that. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing gender discrimination and sexual harassment. And in some parts, even assault from what we saw in the video. But no one's gonna speak out on it because at the end of it, there is this expectation that men are we're just supposed to take it. We're supposed to deal with it because guess what? We are strong. We don't complain. So it pushes this narrative of why should we even talk about our mental health when women have this expectation that we're just supposed to deal with it. We're supposed to deal with the harassment. We're supposed to deal with the objectification. Meanwhile, women have to be coddled. We have to protect women. But just to recap and make a bigger point even more clear. Women, if you want men to be vulnerable and still be strong, it does not have to be mutually exclusive. We're gonna need your help. You have to quit being hypocrites. Okay, you cannot say I want a good-looking, in-shape man, but I am allowed to not work out, to not work on my fitness. You're not allowed. It is not right for you to say I can touch your chest and bypass anything you're talking about because you're good-looking, but you cannot do the same to me. Okay, we need to change the narrative. All right, are you going to be a woman of value or are you going to be a hypocrite? Are you going to allow men to express themselves without trying to cancel them because they said one or two bad words that just flip the whole narrative? We need to be able to really work together if we're gonna make dating better. The fact that, of all people, Henry, I mean, yes, he's a good looking man, but the fact that he is basically not wanting to date because of this silly cancel culture that has just taken steps back to what it was intentionally trying to do with that hashtag. If you know what I'm talking about, Harvey Weinstein hashtag. So just understand that we point this out for a reason. Men point it out for a reason, but I'm telling you from a place of love. Woman, you have to be able to support us and support your own value system. If not, we will continue to see you as hypocrites. We will continue to not take you serious. We will continue to laugh when you say that you need help from us, but you are not there to help us. Okay? And I know this does not fit every single woman. I know there's good women out there. I want you to spread the message. Okay? I want you to share this video with a friend because I am passionate about this. We are not going to create healthier couples and relationships that we have behavior like this. That's all I got. Hope you click and subscribe and like. It's Chris the Dating Doc. Chris the Dating Doc signing out. Peace.